out of the player that he once was. Was he a system guy? What is going on here? So I don't know if you want to hear. I'm a Timberwolves fan, so I can go on a rant. I just want to hear your thoughts.
Before it.
No, you go first.
No. You go first.
Okay. I don't know. First off, it's the aggressiveness. It's Rudy Gobert. We thought Rudy Gobert was going to fix the two big problems of this team. We were getting a dominant All-NBA, former multi-defensive player of the year guy who was going to address the two biggest weaknesses of this team: defensive rebounding and rim protection. He was literally a defensive monster. It was a team that was going to be so big that it would be difficult for a small ball team to handle. Now, we always knew there was questions about Karl-Anthony Towns, but Chris Finch was the guy who was going to be able to do this. But the overall collection of talent in the starting lineup was basically swapped out for Rudy Gobert. And it's 34 games into the first season. This team, it's terrible. We just saw Orlando Robinson on a 2-week contract get literally dick on Rudy Gobert. It was insane, and he looks like the shadow of the guy that he once was in Utah. And maybe it's just he needs a bit more time, but last season, Gobert averaged 15.6 points, led the league with 14.7 rebounds, 2.1 blocks, and shot a league-leading 71.3% from the field to make his third straight All-Star appearance. Now, this season so far, they're literally so far down across the board, it's ridiculous. 14 points, 12.3 rebounds, 66.2% from the field, and the most stunning part of all, 1.2 blocks. He's not even averaging 2 blocks. That's literally the lowest he's had since he was a rookie. The guy isn't the same player anymore. And it was insane that we just saw, Nikola Jovic, and Caleb Martin and Max Strus eat Gobert alive when it should have been the other way around. And Orlando Robinson literally just imploded on him. I've always been a huge Orlando Robinson, but he hasn't. I don't know. There's no heart. It's depressing. I would trade Gobert for anything. I just want Gobert off this team. I want Karl-Anthony Towns off this team. I don't want any bigs on this team. I'm done with bigs. I want Naz Reid starting. I want Kyle Anderson. Fuck this. Fuck Gobert. Fuck Karl-Anthony Towns. That's how I feel about the Timberwolves right now.
Yeah, man. They haven't won. First off, Orlando Robinson's one of those guys where if you just watch like a summer league game, he's good. He's good.
Orlando Robinson's good.
Like you just notice him.
Orlando Robinson's a good player from Fresno State. How I've been on him, but Orlando Robinson as a rookie, should not be eating Gobert alive. Yeah. Nor should Jovic, a 6'10" guard.
Not many people should be.
Yeah.
Let alone those guys.
Alone those guys, yes.
I mean, Minnesota's pretty dysfunctional right now. I know I saw that they're going to try and put Cat more in the corner when he comes back and see if that works. But yeah, I mean, Rudy Gobert, I don't know quite what it is. It's been like the whole month. They've lost 6 straight games that he's played in, and Minnesota's kind of faltering right now a little bit. I remember like their last win against Dallas when Gobert was out. Naz Reid went for like 27 and 15. Like he was just a
We
stud.
look better without Gobert and without Karl-Anthony Towns.
Yeah.
Naz Reid's a G. So is Kyle Anderson and Jaden McDaniels.
He reminds me very much of Precious Achiuwa in the sense that these guys are so underrated. Like these are starting caliber centers. Naz Reid's a starting caliber center. He's very versatile. He's had a couple of years in the league now. It's a really tough position because it's like, Gobert is going to be an issue in the playoffs because he always has been. He always will be. But there's a way around it. But especially if he's not rebounding the ball like it wasn't last night, if he's not giving me like 12 rebounds, that's what he's averaging on the season, though. So I think it's just a lot of dysfunctionality with the Minnesota Timberwolves. And I don't know what.
Chris Finch is a good coach. I don't know what Tim Conley was expecting at this point. I get that Rudy Gobert was good, but maybe Rudy Gobert was only looking good because that's how good of a coach Quinn Snyder was. Okay, Quinn Snyder we always knew was a good coach, but maybe he was a lot better of a coach than we thought. And I just find it so frustrating that at this point, we're ruining Anthony Edwards' like offensive production, like skill set, and he's becoming a phenomenal passer. But we've seen already by taking out Karl Anthony Towns how much better Anthony Edwards looks. Like at this point, I don't even know. I don't care to keep either of them. Like, and it'd be so hard to trade them, but God, I don't know what you do at this point. Does Gobert have some turnaround? I don't know. It's just so hard to see how you fix this just because I think Gobert just lost a full-on step. He's not the same guy anymore. Maybe, him playing Summer League is partial, not Summer League, to play in the Eurobasket, and people forgot that he played the Eurobasket. I'm pretty sure, didn't they go to the championship or they won it or something like that? They went to the final, I believe.
I know France was in the final.
So
did they beat Spain?
No, Spain won it. I think Spain won. So, and literally at this point, I think maybe Rudy Gobert just got drained from Eurobasket and he's like just super fatigued. But at this point, yeah, Larry, hey Mai, I agree. Naz Reid, Nathan Knight have been doing way better than Rudy Gobert, and it's ridiculous to see how the turn of events. Thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, we could sit here and talk all the damn time about how you're losing precious time with Anthony Edwards on a rookie contract. It just, as the days go by, it's like less and less that he's either going to stick around or want to stick around or whatever it is. And I think what's becoming evidently clear to me, as much crap as I like to give Cat for being soft and not the number one option on a championship team, is, I mean, even without Cat, you don't have enough. And like that Gobert trade, they lost all their resources. Like they lost so many critical players. Like Jared Vanderbilt is such a critical
Malik Beasley
was so huge. Malik Beasley was huge for him. Like they lost a lot. So now it almost becomes a little bit of like damage control where it's like, yeah, I mean, it's a horrible look if you have to get rid of either Gobert or Cat, but I think the alternative is much more dire. So yeah, I think a month from now, we're going to start seeing some rumblings about Minnesota being open to something.
Yeah. And like, I don't even know, because at this point, this team is a team that should have gone more athletic, more spacing, and getting more guys who could have played out in the perimeter and be able to go in transition and end up being this super athletic team. They shouldn't have been worrying about this rebounding. They should have tried to get like guys like Dorian Finney-Smith and, like Josh Greens and stuff like that, guys, or even like guys like how Benedict Mathurin is, Imagine if Walker Kessler was on this team. Walker Kessler would have helped you so much, okay? Walker Kessler would have been huge for this squad.
Yeah, maybe they should have maybe they had the wrong Jazz guy to get, and it should have been.
You're an idiot, dude. Walker
Mike
Kessler
Conley.
Oh, that's right. I was about to say Walker Kessler was drafted by them. And I don't even know. Maybe they shouldn't have even traded. Like Jared Vanderbilt was the second leading offensive rebounder in the league behind only Steven Adams as a power forward. You just lost all that offensive rebounding. How are you supposed to come back from that,
I guess their thought process is guys like Jalen Noel, who's done a great job, and
he's been awesome.
Taurean Prince and McDaniels can help alleviate what they lost. But they got Austin Rivers and Bryn Forbes, and they're like, these guys will it's kind of throwing a Band-Aid on a huge gaping cut. So yeah.
I don't even know how we fix this team anymore besides getting rid of not Anthony Edwards. Oh my God. Besides giving Anthony Edwards space. Anthony Edwards in space is the solution to this team. Get Rudy Gobert out of town. Get Karl Anthony Towns out of town at this point. I don't see a way for this roster to work. Anthony Edwards, we've seen in every game that the big guys have been out and they play in space. What happens? Anthony Edwards looks better in space. It's all about Anthony Edwards in space. And I think we're seeing that this team's at its best when Anthony Edwards is in space. So that's kind of how I feel about this right now.
Yeah, they got to start getting some consistency, dude. This is crazy. Like, I go back to the start of their season. So they've lost 3 straight in the past 3. Before that, they won 3 straight. Before that, they lost 3, won 2, lost 3, won 5, lost 3, won, lost 3. Like, it's all in spurts. There is no consistency whatsoever with this current Minnesota Timberwolves team.
And yeah, and it's painful.
Kind of crazy.
It's painful to watch, and all you want is for them to have some sort of like coerce or like some sort of like make sense. And every time it makes sense, it's when Anthony Edwards is in space. And we've seen him go up to like 7 assists now. He's looking like a guy who could average 7 assists, 7 rebounds, and 25 points with like 2 steals a night. And he looks at his best when it's Naz Reid, Kyle Anderson, Jaden McDaniels out there when he has space. And that's what it gets me so pissed off. It's just at this point, how many times do you guys have to have Rudy Gobert miss games, or how many games does Karl-Anthony Towns and Rudy Gobert have to miss games for you to see that your team's at its best when it's just Anthony Edwards on the floor without those guys?
Tough.
And it just pisses me off. No, let's pivot right here. And let's talk about the NBA G League Ignite.